You have alternatives to private student loan forgiveness. I'm going to show you some of the top 5 that maybe you've not considered in this video, and maybe it'll get you out of debt sooner for less money than you think. So let's take a look at these tips. So first is deferment. So if you're in any kind of program or degree program or something like that, a lot of private lenders offer you the option to defer your loans while you're still in school. Maybe there's a situation where you went back to get another degree. If that's the case, then it's always worth asking. Worst case is you get a no, right? So you definitely want to go ahead and ask to see maybe they'll grant some of these options that you might not even be aware of. Option 2 is a temporary forbearance. So let's say you're not in a degree program, but you're just having a hard time. Maybe you lost your job, maybe you're dealing with an economic setback, maybe you're dealing with a lot of bills. Whatever the reason is, some lenders will offer a temporary forbearance. Maybe 3 months is the most common that we see. And if you get that forbearance, then maybe you'll be able to catch up on other bills or get to a more secure financial spot so that you can pick payments up. Now, sometimes these forbearance are limited in the number of times that you can do it, so it's best to only use that if you absolutely have to. Third option here, this is not an option that I would consider unless I've got a really good debt to income ratio, if you got a lot of cash in the bank, you've got no credit card debt. Refinancing with a private lender is only a good option if you are really economically secure. The only exception to that rule would be if you're stuck with some sort of huge interest rate. 9, 10, 11% is what we sometimes see with private lenders, and if that's the case, then you might want to go ahead and see if anything else better is available, even if you aren't super financially secure if it is a private loan. Now, number 4 is strategic bankruptcy. The reason I say strategic is because you're operating here from a position of strength, not weakness. A lot of times you might think of bankruptcy as something, oh, I've failed. I haven't been able to pay my loans. I feel sad. I feel like a failure. And you should not feel that way. It's not something that is on you. Sometimes the system that we have has options, one of which is bankruptcy, that can be used appropriately in some circumstances. Now, this is not a option to go down without legal counsel. There are private student loan attorneys out there. There's a lot of them that I know personally that do great work, and sometimes, depending on the state and location where you live, a strategic bankruptcy makes sense. There's a lot of complex rules. A lot of these laws are state by state specific and sometimes even location specific, and there's also different statute of limitations during which a lender has to bring action against you if you default or if you don't make payments, where they might be willing to settle for a lot smaller debt than you owe. So not an option to go down unless you're fully informed by your own lawyer that works for you what your options are, but it is an option. Now, final option I've called out today, employer reimbursement. A whole lot of employers out there will provide some money towards student loans, and it's best to use this money towards private student loans if you have any, because federal student loans have better protection options and better forgiveness options. So it's a good idea to try to seek out all available reimbursement choices that you might qualify for anyway. I never recommend somebody take a job just because of a student loan benefit. It's just a nice to have if you're already working at a place that offers one. So these are 5 different ways that you can use to have relief from private student loans that don't involve student loan forgiveness. Did I miss any? Do you think that any of these are more legitimate than others? Put them in the comments, and thank you so much for watching Student Loan Planner.